God's blessings to everyone. This is the DGHradio.com news and information update for Thursday, October 2nd, 2025. I'm your reporter, SGD, leading the news, a historic step for Caribbean integration. Four CARICOM nations, Barbados, Belize, Dominica, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, have switched on full free movement. Nationals can now live and work across these four countries without visas or work permits, with systems in place for indefinite stay, healthcare, and access to education. Security vetting remains, but officials say the goal is to unlock jobs, ease skills shortages, and keep talent in the region. Regional leaders will be watching early rollouts at ports of entry, credential recognition, and housing capacity as the policy beds in. Staying with integration, the new policy is already sparking debate. Analysts say free movement can boost productivity and tax revenue, while critics flag potential pressure on schools and housing. Barbados officials say immigration systems and training at the border are ready. Economists will track whether gains show up in the next 6 to 12 months. Unions and employers are working through credential transfers to keep new hires moving without red tape. To Haiti, where the United Nations Security Council has approved a more robust international mission to confront armed gangs. The new force replaces the Kenyan-led deployment and expands personnel ceilings, authorizing tougher operations to secure key corridors, ports, and hospitals. Supporters call this Haiti's best chance to restore basic safety. Skeptics warn success depends on steady funding, better equipment, and strict human rights safeguards. CARICOM has welcomed the upgrade and pressed for political and judicial reforms alongside security. Energy now. Trinidad and Tobago says it's prepared to lead direct talks in Caracas to revive the Dragon Gas project. The field sits in Venezuelan waters and could feed Trinidad's LNG and petrochemical plants if licensing and sanctions issues are resolved. Backers argue that additional gas would stabilize jobs and lower power costs in the wider region, but the timeline hinges on aligned approvals from Washington and Caracas, and on investors' confidence that narrow, sanctions-compliant licenses can actually stick. Marine safety in Barbados. The Met Service is alerting fishers, small craft, and beachgoers to rough seas this weekend as long-period swells build along the north and west coasts. A high surf advisory may follow if conditions deteriorate. Lifeguards are urging the public to follow flags and avoid rock-fringed areas where larger sets can surge unexpectedly. Tourism operators and cargo services are adjusting routes as needed. Motorists on coastal roads should expect spray and reduced visibility. Also in Barbados, policing is going more high-tech. The Barbados Police Service is pivoting recruitment toward candidates with digital and analytical skills. Think cyber fraud, financial crimes, and online exploitation, while continuing to build out human trafficking and sex crimes units. New special constables have completed training and will support tourist and coastal operations. Leaders say the force is shifting from brawn to intelligence-led policing, with the chain of custody and courtroom-ready digital forensics now core competencies. Consumer protection. Barbados's Fair Trading Commission says not 1 cent of more than BBD $120,000 owed to Barbados Water Authority customers for service standard breaches between 2021 and 2024 has been claimed. Thousands of eligible customers never filed the required forms, some apparently because the form wasn't posted online. Regulators want clearer communication and simpler claims so credits show up on bills where they belong. Across Jamaica, a major anti-narcotics operation. Police in St. Thomas intercepted a truck in Morant Bay and seized over 1,500 pounds of compressed ganja. The driver is in custody. Charges are pending. Investigators say intelligence-led patrols and community tips continue to disrupt traffickers moving bulk loads. Authorities link these interdictions to reductions in violence financed by drug proceeds, but warn that networks adapt quickly and public cooperation remains crucial. U.S. travel note for Caribbean fans planning World Cup trips. The U.S. State Department says it will surge consular staffing at selected embassies and consulates to handle the spike in visa demand. ahead of the 2026 tournament hosted across the US, Canada, and Mexico. Many posts report interview waits under 2 months today. The goal is to keep it that way during the rush. Applicants should still apply early and arrive fully documented. Tech Watch. Meta says conversations with its AI assistant will begin informing ad targeting and content suggestions on Facebook and Instagram from December 16th outside the EU, UK, and South Korea. The company says sensitive topics like health and politics won't be used for ads and that users will get notices next week. Privacy advocates are raising flags. Meta frames the move as an incremental extension of signals it already uses. One world headline we're following: a deadly attack outside a synagogue in Manchester, England on Yom Kippur left 2 people dead and several injured. Police shot the suspect, declared the incident terrorism, and boosted patrols nationwide. Political and interfaith leaders condemned the violence. Investigators are working to confirm motive and possible accomplices. Our hearts are with the victims' families and the community. And a regional travel boost, Cape Air will launch twice daily nonstops between St. Thomas and St. Barthélemy later this month, giving residents and visitors a simple alternative to private charters or multi-leg hops. Tourism officials expect the link to tighten business and leisure ties across the northeastern Caribbean just as the winter season builds. That's your DGHradio.com news and information update. I'm your reporter, SGD, signing off for DGHradio.com. Remember, SGD and DGH, together we source, gather, and deliver daily global headlines because on DGHradio.com, the news never sleeps. Ciao.